Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Noah and I wanted to welcome all of you to another installment of Monologue Monday here on my YouTube channel.
Monologue Monday.
In this episode of Monologue Monday, I want to share why I don't plan on having kids, at least for right now. With that being said, let's get into this installment of Monologue Monday. So like I said, this episode is really my thoughts on why I am postponing the endeavor of bringing, new life into the world, at least for right now. And it's something that I had to think about, for some time, because I am at that point, in that age group where there are quite a few individuals my age, even younger than myself, that I know that are announcing that they're, the family, husband, wife, are having a kid, or they're maybe they've had one for some time. And I think this is kind of a really popular time period, right? Mid to late 20s is a period where people say to kind of get on that, right? Especially if you're already married at this point. But I look at things a little bit differently, and I'm going to kind of share my thoughts on this whole topic with you in this video today. So my belief on this is that in our lives, throughout my life and your life, it's really difficult to kind of gain more energy as time goes on, right? I think we're at least, when you're in your mid 20s and, late 20s and 30s, we're at kind of our peak as far as energy levels go, right? We have the most motivation, or we should. We have, the most time to do this, to do that, within work and, outside of work and so on. And I think things go down as we get a little bit older, right? I think life has a good way of wearing us down, where, when you do get into your 40s and 50s, you still have energy to do stuff, but it's tiring, right? You have to dig really deep to learn new skills, right? To take on new endeavors and so on. So knowing this, I like to kind of structure my life, or I am structuring my life around basically taking advantage of the extra energy and time that I have right now to augment my own myself, right? Myself, right? Augmenting myself in my career in different ways that, I could make more money there, trying taking on new endeavors, right? Taking on new hobbies and just doing as much as I can, right? Both physically, for my physical health, professional health, and my mental health as well. And the way that I like to look at this is, there's two options, right? If I do this, right? If I stay on my path that I'm doing right now, which is, like I said, taking advantage of all of this extra time and energy that I have to kind of set myself up for an easier financial future, at least, financial future is just one aspect of it, but generally speaking, that's a huge component of it. That basically would mean is when I am ready to take on an endeavor like having a kid might be, which is obviously the biggest endeavor that people will have in their life, I'm more prepped for it, right? And, henceforth, I can actually start maybe leaning off the gas a little bit more when I have a kid, right? Because I've already kind of pushed myself early in life to have, a certain title, or, have a certain amount in investments, or have a certain type of house, or, all of those different things. But on the flip side, of course, we have individuals, like I said, that are my age now, that are getting into having kids, right? Or, planning on it, or, like I said, already have kids. And it's the reverse, right? But the issue that I have with this thought process is that, you have a lot of energy to take care of the kids, right? But after they get to a point where they're, out of the house after high school at 18 or whatever it is, maybe earlier I guess earlier is illegal technically, but so earlier would be, earliest would be 18. You expend a lot of this energy that you have on raising your kid, right? Which is what it should be, right? You shouldn't be just taking it easy. But what ends up happening is that getting to a different place financially, career-wise, or, a business idea, or, anything like that is going to be more difficult when that kid is, out and about, or, when they actually start kind of doing things on their own, which would be high school or something like that. So it would just naturally be more difficult, right, in life to make more money, right? To do more, if you, in my opinion, if you were to have kids earlier in life. And of course, there's obviously pros and cons with this, right? A lot of people would say, well, I want to be a young parent because I have more energy now, which makes sense. But the way that I, like I said, like to look at it is that since I do have the most energy that I could, right, at this point in my life, I may as well take advantage of it and kind of set myself up for the future. So at some point, when I am good and ready to have a kid, it's going to be less of a financial burden for me, right? Because I already set myself up, savings or investments or career-wise, certain job or whatever it may be. So I have that covered. And therefore I won't have to kind of catch myself after I have a kid. And I think try to catch up with kind of the world around you after you have a kid. And I think that happens with a lot of people where, they have a kid, it's all exciting, it's fun, whatever, but then they start realizing how difficult, life just is, right? It's very difficult, I think, to juggle a high-paying job with having a kid, and then you're kind of taking your time away from them, and that's not something that I want either, which I think would be okay, right? If you work hard and, set yourself up early, maybe you take a different position when you have a kid, right? Where you're certainly not making pennies, but your responsibilities are weaned back, but you have the money to support your family because you had worked and saved and done whatever needed to be done earlier in life. So there's a lot of different ways to think about this topic. I could go on talking for a very, very long time, but I just wanted to share my own personal opinions on what I'm practicing right now and what I think is ultimately a better decision. But of course, as always, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of my opinion here, of my take on why I think it's more important to kind of use your younger years to set yourself up for success, right? Set yourself up to be able to successfully sustain a family, right? A house, the bills that come prior to introducing a new life into this world. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear them. As always, if you've stuck along this far in the video, I want to thank you so much for your time today. And of course, happy financing.